Every loaf of bread begins as a field of grain, nurtured by sun, soil, and time.
Within each kernel lies the potential for nourishment that has fed civilizations for thousands of years. Within each kernel lies the potential for nourishment that has fed civilizations for thousands of years.
Modern harvesting machines collect grain with precision, reducing waste while increasing speed.
Thousands of kernels merge into a single flowing stream, ready for transport. From machine to trailer, the grain's journey continues seamlessly. Workers monitor each load to ensure the harvest remains dry, clean, and ready for delivery. With the field harvest complete, transportation becomes the next link in the chain.
Bulk carriers take the raw grain toward mills and processing plants that transform it into flour.
From open fields to industrial lines, the grain now moves toward the world of modern bread manufacturing. Bulk grain travels miles to reach the industrial heart, where bread begins its transformation.
Each rotation brings the raw harvest closer to precision processing. Modern bread production begins long before the dough is mixed, inside facilities built for scale and safety. Each load is logged, inspected, and verified before entering the milling grounds. Massive storage systems stand ready to handle every incoming delivery. Human oversight ensures each movement remains accurate within tight industrial spaces.
Once the hatch opens, gravity and engineering take over.
The grain begins its controlled ascent towards storage and pre-processing.
From ground level to towering silos, the harvest is now ready to enter the factory itself. At the top of the facility, towers of grain wait for their next stage in the bread-making process. This interconnected system is designed for efficiency, cleanliness, and continuous production. Every employee follows strict protocols to maintain hygiene and product safety.
Before entering production zones, contaminants must be removed with precision.
Proper protective gear ensures consistency and safety in every stage of the operation.
The factory's interior connects each process in an organized flow, from grain to loaf. Here, the incoming grain transitions from bulk storage to precise preparation. From above, the system reveals itself as a synchronized maze of movement. With the grain inside the facility, the crucial cleaning and sorting phase begins.
The first task is to remove anything that isn't wheat, ensuring purity from the start.
Even microscopic contaminants are extracted using high-strength magnetic filtration.
A controlled airstream separates the wheat from lighter particles instantly.
With weight and motion, heavier impurities are guided away from the valuable grain. Mechanical screening ensures only properly sized kernels continue the journey. Advanced optics examine each kernel, detecting imperfections the human eye might miss. Only clean, uniform, high-quality wheat progresses to the milling stage. With impurities removed, the wheat moves with purpose toward its transformation. The clean kernels now enter the core processing stage that will unlock the flour within. The first break crushes the kernels, revealing the layers that will soon become flour. After the first break, the mix is guided toward multi-stage separation. Inside this tower, dozens of layered sieves separate fine flour from coarser material. Only the finest particles pass through these precision screens. Larger pieces are reprocessed to ensure every bit of endosperm is recovered. Each pass refines the wheat further, increasing flour yield and uniformity. Once milled, the flour moves through sealed air channels to prevent contamination. Blending ensures every batch of flour remains consistent before entering dough production. With milling complete, the flour travels toward the heart of the operation, dough formation. Here, flour meets water, yeast, and science to become the foundation of every loaf. Precision valves measure the exact amount needed for each batch. Moisture and fermentation agents join the flour to awaken its structure.
Mechanical force activates the gluten network, giving dough its strength.
Once developed, the dough is guided toward shaping systems with minimal handling. Advanced dividers ensure each loaf begins with identical mass and consistency. The dough is rounded to relax tension and prepare it for shaping.
A brief pause allows the dough to mellow before entering the shaping line.
Through shaping, the dough finally takes on the form of the bread it will become.
Advanced optics identify even the slightest impurities within milliseconds. Precision jet systems remove imperfect kernels without interrupting the flow. Automated gates balance flow rate with exacting consistency. Pressurized pipelines move materials swiftly between production tiers. Centrifugal force ensures only refined grain continues onward. Controlled hydration prepares each kernel for its final transformation. Automated elevators move thousands of kilograms with minimal human intervention. Precision sensors maintain flawless feed rates for mechanical efficiency. Centralized control systems orchestrate every step with absolute accuracy. The first break rolls fracture each kernel with textbook precision. Layered screens refine the product into progressively finer fractions. Air currents lift away the last traces of bran, leaving a cleaner grade. Nothing is wasted. Secondary milling ensures uniformity throughout. Cyclone force guides the delicate powder to its designated holding cells. Conditioning tanks stabilize the flour before blending and final refinement. Blending creates the exact texture needed for consistent dough performance.
The last filtration polishes the flour, readying it for dough formation.
The refined flour enters the heart of the bakery, where dough begins its life. Every batch begins under strict supervision to maintain uniform dough quality.
Moisture levels are verified to ensure the flour behaves perfectly during mixing.
gluten strength is assessed to guarantee the dough will rise evenly.
Precision instruments measure texture with scientific accuracy.
Every cell is examined to ensure its strength before fermentation. Automated sensors watch every parameter to achieve the ideal dough profile.
Laser precision confirms each sheet meets exact dimensional standards.
Random sampling guarantees batch consistency across thousands of loaves.
Every ingredient is certified safe before the bread reaches final production. Each loaf now begins its journey toward the customer.
Precision machinery ensures each loaf is perfectly sealed. Every label tells the story of freshness and quality.
Careful handling preserves the shape and texture of each loaf.
Pallets are secured for safe storage and transit.
Warehouses maintain optimal conditions for shelf life. Distribution begins as trucks leave for local stores and markets.
Every load is verified for safety and freshness before departure. And this is how modern factories produce bread.